Your name was Victor, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to remember that, Victor. Thank you.
Victor, look out, man. He's a hugger. Alright, they laughed.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, my question is for all three of you guys. Will you guys ever get tired for being more known for your roles as Power Rangers than anything that you've ever done on other projects?
No.
I don't think, at some point you just kind of have to realize it's always going to be who you are. At least I do. I don't want to speak for anybody else. And so, there was a while after I left the show I didn't want to be known for that, but obviously over the last 20 years I've realized, like I keep saying, what a huge honor it is to be known for it. So, we still get recognized out in the world and we get to hear amazing stories from people like you. So, I will never get tired of it and I'm proud of it.
Just to let you guys know, even though it's been 20 plus years,
21, be careful.
Well, yeah. And even though, David, that you swing for the same team, you guys all still make great eye candy.
I gotta say that I also went through a period of time where I kind of was like, oh man, can you know me from my other work? Because I've been working as an actor for 20 years. I've done everything from like Buffy the Vampire Slayer to Sabrina Teenage Witch, Moesha. I've been recurring on different shows like The Shield, and I'm really proud of some of the work that I've done. I had a show on Nickelodeon called Space Cases, and so for a while I was like, I would go out and people would go, hey, I know you from somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, maybe it was Nickelodeon, Space Cases. They're like, no. NYPD Blue? No. Well, I did a movie called The Gardener. No. How about, I was on a Disney show called Brink. I never saw that. Power Rangers, that's it! Oh, man, I knew you. And I'm like, eventually, I don't even listen to anything else anymore. I just go straight to, it's probably Power Rangers.
I didn't get much of that in the Middle East. I was like, I'm a idiot.
I was cool though. A real superhero. I love that.
Hey guys, thanks for coming out here today. It's really amazing to see you guys all in person. It's kind of been a dream of mine for like 20 years. So I know that as adult actors, when you guys joined the show, it was probably like, what is this ridiculous thing I'm getting paid to do? This is weird and there's monsters made of putty, and then I don't get to do the kung fu stuff. I get to do like the initial kung fu stuff, and then some other guy puts on the suit. But I just wanted to know, when did you start realize that you were actually sending a message to kids of like empowerment? Because I remember it was like huge. I was alone a lot in my childhood, and Power Rangers, like the group of friends was like so dynamic and so diverse, and it made me feel like I had a connection to other people. And it was hugely important to me, and then all the messages in the episodes in the first season were all about believing in yourself and not resorting to violence and using martial arts only in defense and not being a jerk, and not being a bully and standing up to bullies and the importance of that. And so, like, when did you realize it was actually sending that message and not just a goofy show?
For me, we filmed almost the entire first season before it even started airing. So it's like, we're filming all this stuff, and for me, I could kind of see that it was there in the script, but I really wasn't conscious of it. But then, like, when it started airing, the show jumped immediately to number one. People started writing into, it was on Fox Kids at that time, so they started writing into the network about a bunch of different stuff. And they would come back and tell us. That's when it started to trigger for me, like, oh wow, I need to start being more responsible in my life and make sure that people don't see me, out in the world being a jerk. Like, I used to smoke when I was on Power Rangers. Nobody should smoke. So, I wanted to make sure that people never saw me doing stuff like that. I don't smoke anymore. But, yeah, it's something that I think over time, and I'm sure everybody else started taking our roles a lot more serious. And we're actually pretty proud to be putting on a show that impacted you guys, like, in ways that we could never even believe. So thank you for sharing that.
Is this a commercial? Yes. Next is the Suave commercial. I think for me, there wasn't any particular moment. I can think of several that stood out to me, one of which I remember kids coming to the set that would be brought in to meet us. And I've always been one of the guys like, they want to meet who? Really? I've always been with a lot of the arts and just life. My father was a Marine, mom was a cop, we're public servants in my family. And it was never about me or any one of the other members of my family. So I always had a hard time feeling special. I still do. And it's been an amazing moment in realizing that there were people out there who, despite what I think of me, not that it's a low standard, but I'm not, I'm one of many medics. My father was a Marine, my brother's a Marine, my mom was a cop. We're just servants. We're here for everybody. That's what we do. And I remember the kids coming up and looking at me like I would have looked at Superman if he had walked in the room when I was 5. I was like, pee my pants. That's Superman. And I think it was the first few times that I saw that look that it really began to sink in for me. And I was like, wow, I'm really, truly doing something far bigger than me that is amazingly special to so many. And it's just a moment where you just, wow. You can't describe it, or I can't.
I think for me it was when we started doing a lot of PSAs, and they were running. Did that sound good? Because it is good. PSAs, which is public service announcements. So it'd be like, and now a word from the Power Rangers, right? And then we come on and we talk about bullying, or we talk about something, right? And so we would do these PSAs and to, then we would watch an episode and see the PSA come on, you're like, that's really cool that we are putting out that kind of message to kids to live by. I mean, that for me solidified that we were really not only just being Power Rangers, but we were actually being role models and leaders to children, in their minds, to help them grow and be positive. So I think that's when I really kind of got that impression.
It's my first hero. So.
Thank you. Great question.
Thank you, brother.
Hey guys, nice to see you again.
What's up, dude?
First two things. You guys taught me how to speak English because I was growing up, I was 2 years old watching your guys' Power Rangers TV show. So I was growing up at a traditional Mexican family. So, yeah.
¿Cómo está, jefe?
And still today, I have a problem with my English, but thanks to you guys, I know how to speak it better. And the other thing is, I watched it in Mexico too, so I watched it both languages, because when I was 5, I moved over there, and it was a little behind, so it just started in Mexico when I moved over there.
So you had like the bad Japanese costume part, and then the Spanish dubbed in bad English part.
Pretty much.
Dude, you're a hero.
I was in Dominican Republic, and some kids were talking to me. I was there with my buddy, and they were outside yelling for me to come out at 7 a.m. in the morning. And finally we go out, and they're talking to me in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish. But my friend goes, hey, he doesn't speak Spanish. They're like, what are you talking about? He speaks Spanish every day on TV. Okay.
We saw it.